Welcome back to Tang Time, where I teach you how to lower your score without having to work on your golf swing. On today's agenda, we're going to be talking about a side hill lie, when your lead foot is lower than your trail foot. So let's get you good at golf. So here we are on a side hill lie, where my lead foot is lower than my trail foot. What is the most important thing to do when you're on an uneven lie?
Make sure your body is perpendicular to the ground.
That's correct. We want to make sure our body is perpendicular to the ground. We don't want to fight the slope. We're going to stand perpendicular to the ground. If we're perpendicular to the ground and the ground is tilted this way, that means your club head is naturally going to be de-lofted. We're going to be attacking this ball at a downward angle, meaning the trajectory of your ball is going to come out much lower than normal, which is why this shot is going to be very conservative. This is not a green light shot. This is a yellow light shot. You have caution signs everywhere. You need to assess this shot. This is a difficult shot, especially if you have to carry any hazard or trouble. So when you're de-lofted, the trajectory of your ball is lower and the carry is going to be less. So how can we make the ball go higher?
Change the angle of attack so the ball goes higher.
Wrong! We don't want to manipulate the golf swing to increase the trajectory of the ball. Unfortunately, there are just situations where you kind of have to take your medicine. And in this case, you're gonna have to swallow that bitter pill. You should not be super aggressive when you have a lie like this. So on a de-lofted shot, we want to set up with the ball a little in the back of our stance because the arc of your swing is also perpendicular to the ground. If we stand with the ball in the middle or towards the front, you're gonna end up topping the ball because the low point of your swing is at the back. The biggest mistake you can do here is freak out and say, oh my gosh, I need to lean back and help the ball up. More than likely, you're gonna hit way behind the golf ball and you're gonna end up chunking it, topping it, and just hitting a poopy shot. If you're on a hole where there's nothing in front of the green and you can run the ball up there, then this shot is not gonna hurt you. Allow your ball to land short of the green or short of the pin and trundle up there. When you're attacking the ball at a descending angle, you're going to get less backspin and more topspin, so the ball will run out. If you have to carry any kind of trouble or hazard, you need to give yourself some leeway. Account for 10 to 20 extra yards because the ball is just not gonna fly as far. I've got about 160 yards to the pin. There is a bunker short of this green. Typically, I would hit a 6-iron, but it's just gonna come out so low from this kind of lie. So I'm gonna hit a 7-iron. There's a chance I don't carry that front bunker, so I wanna make sure I pick a line that's gonna avoid the bunker and give me a good opportunity for an up and down. So I've got my 7-iron here. I'm gonna do my practice swing to feel out the ground. If you haven't seen my video about why practice swings are so important, go check it out. When I do my practice swing, I can feel how much I need to maintain my spine angle through the shot so that I brush the grass the whole way. Because the lie is tilted this way, you're gonna want to prematurely stand up off your leg. So when I take my practice swing, it lets me feel where the bottom of the ground is and how long I have to keep my spine angle down. I'm gonna pick a good line that's left of the front bunker, and if you haven't seen my video on alignment, go check it out. All right, so I'm setting up with the ball behind center. I'm expecting it to hit the front of the green and trundle up to the hole. And I'm going to expect the low ball flight. So let's give it a swing. And I drew it up perfectly. Comment below what kind of situations you need some help with. So the slope on this shot is nowhere near as severe as the last shot, but it's still on a descending angle. I've only got 100 yards to this pin, so this is definitely a green light shot. But the pin is at the back of this green, and I want to make sure I don't accidentally fly this green because I did not take into account I will be attacking the ball at a descending angle. There's a little bit of wind hurting and out of the left, meaning this is going to be perfect. Keep the ball out of the wind without having to do anything. The lie is going to do it for me. So I have a 50-degree wedge, which I need to hit pretty full here. Take a couple practice swings to feel the angle of the ground and how the club head brushes the ground. I'm not going to help this ball into the air. I'm playing for that lower trajectory. I'm gonna pick a pretty aggressive line just left of the pin. I'm gonna set up with the ball towards the back of my stance, and I'm gonna repeat that same swing I made in the practice swing. I had a wedge in my hand, so I still was able to compress the ball and it still went up pretty good, but I hit the perfect yardage and now I've got to look for birdie. Golf is just a collection of your best misses. We don't want to put ourselves out of play. When you find yourself on a lie that's a descending angle, you have to use your big brain and outsmart this game. You might have a downhill lie, but the ball is sitting perfectly, and you think that by some miracle, you can hit a 3-wood up into the air and carry the water and get it onto the green. But then when you hit it, it goes about 150 yards straight into the water. But if you understand the physics of the shot, then you'll know exactly how to play it. Golf can be a little bit unfair. You can end up in a footprint in the bunker, or you can end up in a divot in the middle of the fairway. And when that happens, you just have to brush it off. There's nothing you could have done. You couldn't have hit a better shot, but you still found yourself in a tough situation. And that's exactly what a side hill lie is. We don't want to find ourselves in a difficult lie and then hit the ball completely out of play. So don't let that one lie ruin your round. So please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next episode.